Hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick video of what we take along with us on the trail, or what I take along with us. The best part with riding with a big group is no one person brings everything, but usually when you got a decent sized group, everyone brings a little bit, and usually hopefully you don't get too many duplicates, and with everyone pitching in you usually can fix or get anything out of the bush. So this is typically what I bring when we go out every time. Everything fits in this DeWalt bag. It's like a bag from a drill and stuff, but it's a really good kind of canvas bag. Everything fits in there really nice. On the 6x6 it fits in underneath nice. On the Renegade you can strap it down to the rear rack, or if someone brings along a side-by-side you can throw it in with them. So basically, yeah, I'll just kind of go through everything what I bring, and you know, a couple stories of how we use stuff in different ways to kind of get people going or get them out of the bush or what have you. We usually bring a couple rags, keep them in a Ziploc so they stay dry, so if the bag gets dunked, you know, everything's not wet. A headlamp. We've been out in the bush a lot of times at night, and if you got to work on anything, these things are invaluable. And even just loading up at the end of the day, if it's dark, you can slap one of those on, and it helps so much for strapping down your machine or loading up your machine. In here I just got basically tire plugs, a couple random tools and some tire plugs or whatever. We've had to plug a few tires on the trail. I actually rammed a stick right through a silverback on the 6x6, like it poked right in, and we had to use 3 plugs for it to finally hold air, but it held air, and actually those plugs are still in to this day. It still holds air. So just kind of random side cutters, needle nose, the crappy pliers that come with your Can-Am kit, and I got a bit better pliers, adjustable wrench. I got a couple 19s because those are what you need to change a tie rod, and we've bent and broke a lot of tie rods on the trail, or other people have, and if you don't have a 19 mil wrench, they're impossible to frickin' get off. So Vise Grips is another really great thing too. Use it as pliers, but also I got actually a bent tie rod here. A lot of times you can hook your winch rope, you can run it underneath your quad and hook your winch rope onto your tie rod, and if you use Vise Grips, you keep the hook right where you need it, lock those on, and then you can keep the hook and you can winch that back, and you can actually winch them pretty straight, and straight enough definitely to get you out of the bush. So Vise Grips are a really great thing to have. I got a folding saw, you know, if you're really stuck, and sometimes you maybe need a branch to frickin' tie onto your machine somehow to help you out, or sometimes there's something just on the trail that you can't get around. So I bring a little foldable saw. It helps. We've used it a few times. All different kinds of zip ties, and these are, try to buy the kind of weight rated zip ties. You can buy some really cheap ones that you zip up and they snap right away. If you buy ones like, I think these are rated for 50 or 60 pounds, they're a lot stronger and they seem to hold really good. I always bring my plug-in controller for my winch. That's usually kind of, you use it if you're kind of by yourself and you kind of gotta be up in front of your quad or behind your quad or helping it out or whatever. You can plug that in, string it out, and you can still run your winch good. I always bring a couple extra pairs of gloves. Usually, well, it's in spring and fall riding, usually if it's colder, it's always nice to have a little bit of extra gloves. Your hands are getting cold. Or if you got to work on something, say someone's boot blew on their axle, you got grease all over, it's nice to throw those in a bag and grab a fresh pair of gloves. In here I got a couple pairs of socks. Same thing, you know, if it's spring or fall and a guy gets a boot full or you rip your waders, it's nice to be able to take those wet socks off and put some dry socks on. The Tiger Tail, I included that goes on your quad. You don't really carry it in the bag, but that's one of the handiest things you can bring for as far as quick recovery and extraction. So I threw that on the table. Lots of different bungee cords, crap like that. You know, you get going down the trail and Buddy's trailer cooler is flying all over the place because he didn't bring enough bungee cords. You always got a couple extra ones, throw it on, good to go, crap like that. When I bring the 6x6, I usually bring my little DeWalt in a little pack, and I bring a 8mm socket and the stuff I need to change to get the belt case off. If you got a little tool like that, it makes it a 15-minute job versus an hour job if you had a little wrench or whatever, if you got to do a quick belt change on the trail. We rarely blow belts anymore running aftermarket clutches, but a lot of times you're out there and people are having issues, you can stop, zip off all the bolts for them, help them out real quick. If we're going in unfamiliar territory, it's great to bring a GPS along. Old Magellan I've had for probably 15 years. It still works great. shows the track you went on, shows where you started from, easy to make your way back to the truck. We always bring a winch extension line. We use 1/4-inch rope on our winches, and you can only run 40 feet. That's all that'll fit on the spool. So we bring a 50-foot winch extension line. If you ever run out of rope, you can always break that out of your bag. You know, if you got to reach a tree or reach your buddy, you got an extra 50 feet. I always bring a couple extra ratchet straps. Same thing, you never know. You know, you get down the trail, maybe you lose one, whatever, you need an extra ratchet strap. That's easy to throw in. Axle loops or tree savers, you know, these are great for hooking onto your quad. Another place to hook up if you're snatch block and you got to run back to your quad, you can wrap these around your bumper and hook your hook on there and double your pulling power. Or you got to tie some other crap down. They come in handy. A little hammer comes in handy. You never know when you got to beat the crap out of something. I usually throw this custom Splice receiver hitch in. A lot of times you'll be out and a guy's stuck or whatever, and you'll reach down and he doesn't got anything in his rear hitch receiver. So it's super easy to slide that in, hook on, yank him out. Or if your buddy shows up, he doesn't got one, you throw that in his receiver for the day and you got a good recovery point for the whole day for him. I didn't realize how many frickin' shackles I had I had in that bag or whatever. A guy sure doesn't need this many for sure, but shackles are a great way, again, to rig up rope or whatever. I got my snatch block here. I've used quite a few times on really, really bad stucks. Basically, if you run the winch cable back to your own quad, it doubles your pulling power. You get half speed on your winch, but you get double the pulling power, so that's really, really handy. These custom Splice soft shackles are really great too. Same thing, you can wrap it around a bumper, wrap it around anything, and you hook up your winch rope to that. I don't know, they're rated for 8,000 or 10,000 pounds. I've never ever broke one. I've pulled on them like crazy, so those are really great too. Super light, you can use them in a lot of different ways. I usually bring a bag full of just random crap, like an axle nut and different pins, different bolts, usually for whatever, right? You never know when you might need something like that. A little bag like that weighs whatever, however many ounces, and could help someone out. I usually bring a whole spare tie rod, but I'm totally out. I bent 2 on the 6x6, so it's time to upgrade. But I usually bring a complete straight tie rod because a lot of times you run into issues or whatever. It's super easy, either just to back off the locking nut. You can spin these out by hand, put a brand new one, spin them on, frickin' attach the other side, and you're good to go. 20 minutes and you're on your way again. Naoko Boost. These are like a little lithium battery pack made for boosting. I've used this thing a ton on the trail too. A lot of times the Gen 1 Can-Ams, the stator was underpowered, and if you're winching a lot, you'd winch, and it would kill your motor. Well, you do that so many times, and pretty soon you don't even have enough battery power to start your quad again. So a lot of times you bring this, guys run into problems like that, boom, you hook it up. Within 10 seconds, boom, you can boost it, start it, and get him going on his way. So that's a really valuable thing to bring along too. It's super lightweight. So this is about the 6th time we boosted Mitch high compression motor with this little lithium booster. She keeps cranking him over, so we're keeping on using it. He is stuck real bad, and he's got to use his winch, so it's just killing his battery and stalling his bike, so we keep boosting him back up with this. Right now he's running the winch out on it. So far she's still going, so I don't know how many she's got in her, but she's done about 6 so far, so far so good. We're gonna hook him up to that quad there because he's hooked up to those guys over there. And woohoo! Different tapes. I find the Gorilla tape is a little thicker and holds a lot better than, say, duct tape or whatever, but that's in the bag too. A little bit of electrical tape, just kind of extra crap that, you know, is easy to throw in the bag. Ether is the quickest way to mount a tire. You know, a lot of times on a rally, it'll be like bent tie rods or tire off the bead. This is like the main issues. So this, you spray it around. We've done it a few times. Spray a little bit on the tire for like a bit of a fuse, stand back, give it a little bit of air for a few seconds, light a match, and woof, and the tire's instantly mounted. Throw some air, someone will have a portable air compressor, hook that up, throw some air in the tire, and you're gone down the trail. Versus trying to air it up with a little compressor, trying with a ratchet strap. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Ether seems to work every time. I bring Dielectric Grease. This one has seen better days, but there's still some in there. Again, saved our butts a few times. Say you're going through water, your quad's running like crap. A lot of times you can pop your spark plug boots off, fill it up with dielectric grease, snap them back on, and you're good to go. So that's always in the bag too. Some thread locker. I don't know if I've ever really used that on the trail. Can-Am kit here. Spanner wrench is part of that or whatever. Really, I don't know if sometimes maybe use the wrench, but really the most thing you'd use is the spark plug wrench. There's nothing really else that you carry that could get the spark plugs out. Say you swamp your quad, you got to pull the plugs out to get the water out of your motor. So I always bring at least one Can-Am toolkit just for that. Bring a decent socket set. A lot of times these go on sale at Canadian Tire for like 20 bucks, super cheap or whatever. I got a little 8mm in if it's, you know, if it's hard to reach a bolt in your CVT cover underneath. Some of them are pain, so I always bring an 8mm. If you're running an STM secondary, this is the Allen you need to take the bolt off the secondary. I just shove that up in under there. So yeah, a lot of times, whatever, it's got up to 19mm socket. So again, tie rods, whatever else. So yeah, it's kind of just a super quick overview of kind of the stuff that I bring along. Like I said, I don't bring everything, but usually if you got a good sized group, usually someone has something you need, and you can kind of pool your tools and get everyone out of the bush. So anyways, yeah, if you guys can think of anything else that's really great to bring along, comment down in the comment section, and you know, basically help everyone else out on the trail when you can, and rip hard and have fun. And we got lots more videos coming your way. All right, thanks guys.